What's up, everybody? I want to go over some stuff about this new announcement from Elon Musk that Tesla is going to be accepting Bitcoin. There is some things that I think will happen in the near future, and I wanted to make this video to draw some awareness to it. Specifically, this is going to affect you in a big way, and it's information that you really need to know if you are going to be holding Bitcoin and you want to be holding Bitcoin for the foreseeable future. If you're a maximalist in Bitcoin like myself, this will really affect you, and it's something that you might not know about, because on the surface, just being able to go, wow, I can buy a Tesla with my Bitcoin, that's amazing. It's great, but there's some things that you got to know behind that as well, and what Tesla could do to protect itself from that. We just talked about this in our live stream, so if you want to be notified of future live streams, smash that subscribe and the like while you're at it down below. Would really appreciate it. Would love to have you in this community, and it's totally free to subscribe. So if you hit the subscribe, the bell, and all notifications, you'll be notified of the future live streams, and it's really fun to be able to talk with all of us in the chat as well. So if you've been in that live stream, this will sound like some regurgitated information, but a lot of people are saying, please make some clips. And so that is this video here. So let's get into this. You want to buy a Tesla for, let's say, $60,000. You have a Bitcoin, and let's say Bitcoin's value is back up at 60,000. I think right now it's like 52 or 53 as I'm making this video. But let's, for the sake of this video, just say 60,000 for a round number. You know, you want a fully loaded Model 3 or something, or Model Y, and it comes out to 60,000, and you have a Bitcoin that's worth 60,000, let's just say, for this video. In your mind, you think, oh, well, I can just give them the 60,000, right? I can take my $60,000 Bitcoin and trade it for their car that they value at 60,000. Perfect. That's amazing. I only paid, you know, 7,000 for this Bitcoin like 8 months ago or whatever. That's amazing. I got a Tesla for $7,000. No, hold the phone, because under our current structure, you just created a taxable event. So rather than be like, you know, I think Peter Schiff's looking into the fine print of things and trying to find whatever's wrong, because his argument that you can't buy things in Bitcoin has been completely invalidated by this move by Tesla and Elon Musk. I'm just going to tell you what really is the problem with this. The real problem is that most people that got into Bitcoin have a big gain on their hands, because it's nearing all-time highs. Even with a pullback from 61,000 down to 52,000, most people that are in Bitcoin didn't get in at 60,000. Most people got in when it was much less. So specifically in the last 6 months, 8 months. So there's a capital gain there. The second you decide to buy a Tesla for 60,000, you have now declared a capital gain. So in this scenario, we bought a Bitcoin for 7,000. Now it's worth 60,000. By buying that Tesla, now I have declared a $53,000 profit. Not only did I declare a $53,000 profit, that might be a capital gain if it's within a year. So now you're in a really rough position, because you have a $53,000 profit on your hands and a capital gain. So that is going to cost, your Tesla now is going to not cost 60,000. Your Tesla is going to cost almost 100,000 now. Because now you have to pay taxes because you sold your Bitcoin to buy that Tesla. It doesn't work that way, the way we want it to work, where it's a trade. You want it to work the way, but there is a solution to this, and that is what the point is of this video. There is a major solution to this, and we went over this again in the live stream. So if this sounds like reprocessed stuff that we're talking about, this is the clip version of the live stream. And if you saw the live stream, we already went over this. Again, subscribe if you want to be notified for the live streams. The solution to this problem of the gain here, so people aren't, I mean, realistically, a lot of people aren't going to want to buy. The real entity that wins from this is Tesla. Why would they accept Bitcoin? Because they don't have to pay a fee to an exchange to buy the Bitcoin, and it adds up. When you want to accumulate billions in Bitcoin, paying the fee on that is a tremendous amount of money to the broker houses, I mean the exchanges. So if you've noticed, when you buy from Coinbase, or you buy from Cash App, or you buy from Gemini, or whatever the exchanges, or Binance, they charge quite a bit in fees to get the Bitcoin. So they get to save the fees by accepting Bitcoin. They're holding the Bitcoin, and it's very interesting that Elon Musk said we are not converting it to fiat. He didn't say dollars, although dollars are fiat. He specifically used the term fiat. which is kind of like a low blow. Like, we're not converting it to the diluted fiat the way he did that. And then he pins it at the top of his Twitter for 50 million people to see that. I mean, that's not, I keep reiterating that, how big of a deal it is to have 50 million followers on his Twitter. I mean, he's a marketing machine. They never have to, for Tesla, they never have to pay for marketing ever. Every time he tweets his front page news around the world, and the tweet itself is more powerful than the news sharing the tweet. You know, that's how many people, I mean, just to put it in perspective, these news channels they're lucky to get 100,000 viewers at one point, you know, let alone 50 million viewers. That's insanity. So the power behind his Twitter is astronomical, I guess, pun intended. But they stand to really benefit by accepting Bitcoin, because they're looking, what that tells me is they're looking to accumulate more Bitcoin. On this pullback here, they're probably looking at Bitcoin and going, we should probably put some more Bitcoin in our treasury. We put 1.5 billion, maybe we want a little bit more. So they're looking to accumulate Bitcoin. Every time someone buys a car with Bitcoin, they get to accumulate Bitcoin on the cheap, because they get obviously a less price on the car because they're the manufacturer of the car. So they're basically getting Bitcoin on sale. They get to save the fees from the exchange, and they also get to save a bunch more because they made that car for less than what they're selling it for. So it's a win-win across the board for Tesla to accept the Bitcoin, because they actually want to own the Bitcoin. And that's why they're doing that first. Now, there is a solution to this, and I really hope that Tesla ends up doing this. The solution to this problem is Tesla becomes a bank. And I know it sounds wild, it sounds really out there. Some people might think I don't make any sense, but hear me out. If Tesla decides to accept the Bitcoin as collateral, if you look into these companies right now, there are companies like things like BlockFi and a couple other companies that you can send them your Bitcoin. They hold the Bitcoin and they pay you interest against it, but you still own your Bitcoin. And then whenever you want it out, you can get it out and you take your Bitcoin out from them. Tesla, I would trust a lot more than one of these companies giving me a high interest rates to hold my Bitcoin, because they're actually playing with my Bitcoin. Tesla could do this differently, where they make money off of selling the car and they want to hold more Bitcoin in the reserves. They could use your Bitcoin as a collateral payment. So the problem is, if you have a $60,000 Bitcoin that you bought for $7,000, you have a $53,000 gain if you just buy the Bitcoin. You're really in a rough position, because now you would have been better off if you could have just bought the Tesla with cash. You would have been much better off, because you didn't have to declare a huge gain tax. However, the solution is Tesla creates their own bank, and they go, okay, well, now what the ultimate way to check someone's credit report is to take a deposit that they want to keep. So if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, and this is like a Michael Saylor argument, borrow against your Bitcoin. Tesla has a very secure wallet. You send it to them. They store the Bitcoin. They verify the Bitcoin is authentic and real, and it's very easy to do. It gets confirmed on their blockchain, gets it put into their wallet. Once it's confirmed, they send the car. And then you pay a monthly payment to Tesla. You never sold your Bitcoin. They are simply the custodian now, holding your Bitcoin and giving you a loan against your Bitcoin. Not only could they do this, and they have the full capability of doing this, but this would make it so that you never declared a gain. So now you got both. You get the upside of holding your Bitcoin, you get the car, Tesla gets to make interest off of you, and you pay them monthly. And once you paid off your car, they send you your Bitcoin back. It's a win-win-win across the board. There's no downside to that if you believe in the upside of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is volatile. You know, we're taking a risk being in Bitcoin. However, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. If they let me do this, if they let me send them a Bitcoin and they would give me a loan on my car, and not only give me a loan, but a very low interest rate loan, because it's guaranteed. This is basically like a collateralized card. When you're first trying to build your credit, what's the term for the collateralized card? I guess that's pretty much what it is. But you give them money. You give them maybe $1,000, and they give you a credit card against $1,000. So it's a backed credit card, and they can't lose. It's backed. So Tesla could put themselves in that position where they have your Bitcoin and they give you a loan against it. And then you could actually get a Tesla, get the upside of your Bitcoin, pay them interest. So Tesla now becomes a capital company that makes interest off of the payments for their car. And you get to keep your Bitcoin. And you never have to pay capital gains. It's like the most brilliant thing. And this is why Yellen is trying to make you have to pay gains prior to ever declaring your gain. Because she might be realizing that we have stored value in the ether that we can use as leverage and never sell it. That is the most ultimate eureka moment. And this isn't the idea that Tesla could do this. I haven't seen anybody else talk about that. And that's why I wanted to make this video in addition to talking about it in the last live stream. But this is something that the seed kind of got put into my brain by Michael Saylor saying this, saying, in the future, we're going to be able to get very cheap loans against our Bitcoin. And Tesla doesn't have to do this. I'm sure there will be many institutions that are going to allow you to deposit your Bitcoin and then give you a very cheap loan against your Bitcoin. But they're probably going to want, to give you a 20%, 10%. So if you give them a full Bitcoin, they're only going to want to give you like 10, 20 grand loan against it. And they'll probably give you a very low interest rate at that level because they have the collateral. What I'm saying is Tesla should take this position and become the asset company. It would make them get everyone that has their Bitcoin stored in a hard wallet would be like, well, looks like we're getting Teslas now. I mean, I would buy a Tesla tomorrow if they allowed this to happen, because I want a Tesla. I really want a Tesla bad. Like one of those new Model S, I think it's Plaid or Plaid. Those are pretty cool. I would love to have a Tesla, but I am not going to buy my Tesla in Bitcoin. As of right now, I have, enough Bitcoin to get a Tesla. But I'm not going to do that because I want my Bitcoin and I don't want to have to declare a gain on my Bitcoin because it's gone up a lot. So I'm literally in this position right now. And that's why I'm bringing this up, is because if they provided this option for me to be able to send them the Bitcoin, and maybe they get comfortable about it where you don't need to pay for the entire amount of the car for them to hold, but half of it, I'm not going to run away from that loan. You get to keep that much of my Bitcoin? Like, no, I'm going to pay off this car. So if Tesla allows you to send, say you got a $60,000 car and you send them $30,000 worth of Bitcoin, and now you pay them $600 a month or $1,000 a month for this car, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Why would they're already talking about getting into the insurance industry, right? Why not get into the finance industry? That's where the money is, Elon. This is like the ultimate win for Tesla. And that's why I wanted to make another clip video for this, because I see no downside to doing this. I see no downside. The only thing I see is if I was in Tesla's position, I would be doing exactly what they're doing first, I guess. They're kind of just dipping their feet in the water over here, and they're just slowly showing like, yeah, we want more Bitcoin. We want more Bitcoin. But what I see from this announcement isn't like anything for a major Bitcoin maximalist, like I'm sure a lot of us in this that are watching this video and are in my live streams and everything, everybody in our community here, we're Bitcoin maximalists. We don't really want to buy a Tesla because we're up a lot. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is to be in their position where they get to keep the Bitcoin. The reason he's not converting it to dollars is because then he gets to keep it. The second they convert it to dollars, that's when you go through all the different exchanges and whatnot. They get to keep the Bitcoin in this scenario. So they get the Bitcoin on the cheap. In my scenario, I get to still own my Bitcoin and the car, and they make interest off of me. I'm the ultimate person to give a loan to. You already have more than half the car's value. Who would run from that payment? If they miss a payment, you deduct it from the Bitcoin. And now, oh my gosh, that just came to me right now in the middle of this, at the end of this video. It's like, if you miss a payment, it could be in the framework of the loan that they get to keep the value of that payment for the current exchange rate of the Bitcoin, of your Bitcoin. You're like, no, they get 600 of my Bitcoin. Oh, I missed the payment. So you never really miss a payment. You're collateralized. So, but every payment you miss gets deducted from the Bitcoin holdings that they hold of yours. And that way they get to accumulate Bitcoin. So if you decide, I guess you could make it an option. Like, yeah, just take it out of the Bitcoin position of it. And then maybe like 50% of the 50% that they took in of the Bitcoin. I'm getting too into the complexities of it, but you can see how this could really work. When you get to more of the different angles of it, it would really be super viable, and it's a win-win across the board. And I really think that would be a major incentive for Tesla. Is not only would they make interest, they know for sure that this person is going to pay their bill. And if they don't pay the bill, well, they're going to get to accumulate more Bitcoin. Win-win, win-win. So I'm a small YouTube channel. Don't know if this will ever reach out to anybody at Tesla, let alone Elon Musk or something. But I wanted to put this out there because I really think the Bitcoin community would benefit from knowing this information, because we do need to know. If you buy a Tesla with your Bitcoin, you have now declared a gain, unless you were at a loss or something. Unless you bought your Bitcoin at 60,000 and now it's at 50,000, and now you're declaring a loss by buying the Tesla. So it actually would be a write-off in a way, but that's getting into the details of it. I'm talking about if you are up on your Bitcoin, or if you want to hold your Bitcoin and you also want to own a Tesla, why wouldn't they let us leverage it? Why wouldn't they let us leverage it? Just a win-win across the board. All right. I hope that there was some value information there. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I tend to do that sometimes, but thank you so much for watching my videos. Would love to have you as a subscriber. Please do click that red subscribe down below. It is totally free to do it, and the bell and all notifications, and you'll be notified of all future videos. We do these impromptu live streams and everything, and would love to have you there with us in the community. It's a lot of fun. If this video did provide you value, would really appreciate you smashing the like button. Let me get out my fancy YouTuber pillow. If you could smash that like button, so hopefully this gets out there to somebody in Tesla. Maybe not Elon Musk, but maybe in Tesla somebody sees this, somebody in their finance team can see this information. And I think there's a lot of angles where they can make a lot of money. And the Bitcoin community, there would be all kinds of sales going on if they decided to do this. So thank you all so much again for being here. Signing out. See you at the next video.